Wisdom in 8,000 lines, Reba. A humble revision of the wonderful achievement of the late Dr. Edward Conze, now of the 21st century. By Richard Babcock. Chapter 14. Similes. Future and Past Rebirths. Subhuti, as a Bodhisattva, on merely hearing this, immediately believes in this unfathomable perfection of wisdom, does not become cowed, stolid, paralysed, or stupefied, does not doubt or hesitate, but delights to perfect wisdom. Where does one decease, where is one reborn? The Lord, as a Bodhisattva reacts in such a way to perfection of wisdom, delights in seeing and hearing this, bears this in mind and develops this, keeps one's attention fixed on this without diverting it elsewhere, feels an urge to take this up, bears this in mind, speaks this, studies and spreads this, as, once one hears perfect wisdom, one follows and pursues the reciters of dharma and does not let these go, until one realizes this perfection of wisdom in one's heart or has it in the form of a book. Just as a cow does not abandon her young calf, this Bodhisattva deceases among people and is reborn among people. Subhuti is a Bodhisattva, which is endowed with just these qualities crossed in other Buddha fields just as being reborn here. The Lord, it is possible any Bodhisattva, which is endowed with these qualities, is, just as being reborn here, crossed in other Buddha fields, as such honors and questions Buddhas and Lords. One may also cross among Tushita gods. This may be, as such honors Maitreya, the Bodhisattva, and persistently questions him concerning this perfection of wisdom. Past deeds of a Bodhisattva who fails in perfect wisdom. On another hand, as any Bodhisattva past or present hears this unfathomable perfection of wisdom and yet asks no questions, or so doing listens not to any reply, this one may be reborn among people and hear this unfathomable perfection of wisdom being taught, hesitates, and is stupefied and cowed. This is one of these who are unwilling to ask questions and listen. Any Bodhisattva, again, may have had or does have a right attitude to this unfathomable perfection of wisdom, for 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 days, and for a certain time has faith in this, but again is withdrawn and no longer feels like asking questions about nor listening to this. It is a fact such a Bodhisattva has not or does not all the time ask questions about nor listen to and pursue this unfathomable perfection of wisdom, and as such, one may at one time feel urged to pursue and hear this fathomless perfection of wisdom, but not so at other times urged to pursue and listen. Such a one again falls from faith and is disheartened, as intelligence is unsteady like cotton wool. Such a Bodhisattva has but lately set out in the vehicle. Having come but lately to this vehicle, one loses faith, serene confidence and one's urge to this. In other words, one no longer takes up this perfection of wisdom nor pursues it. Such a one moves on either of two levels, on the level of a disciple, or on the level of a pratyabhutta. 4. Similes. As a ship is wrecked in the middle of the ocean, people die in the water without getting to shore, unless these find support on a log, or plank, or any floating object. These who manage to gain such support do not die in the water. This being so, safely and unhindered these cross over to a shore beyond, and stand, unhurt and uninjured, on firm ground. In this same way, any Bodhisattva which is endowed with but little faith, just little serene confidence, little affection, little aspiration, and which does not gain support of perfection of wisdom, incurs a fall in the middle of a bad road, and, without having attained to the state of all knowledge, stands in discipleship or pratyabhuttahood. Different is this case for any Bodhisattva of full faith, which accepts this patiently, develops a taste for this, as full aspiration, vigor, vigilance, resolve, earnest intention, renunciation, a title which is respected, joyous zest, elation, serene confidence, affection in this, and persistence to realize full enlightenment, which gains support as perfection of wisdom. In realizing this perfection of wisdom, one stands in all knowledge. As one uses a badly baked jar to carry water in, this jar does not last long, and actually quickly falls to pieces and melts away. In its unbaked condition this jar actually soon comes to an end on the ground. Likewise, although any Bodhisattva obtains all these qualities enumerated above, from faith to a persistent aspiration for enlightenment, as one does not take hold of perfection of wisdom and skill in means, one is bound to come to a bad fall in the middle of a bad road. In other words, one falls on this level of a disciple or pratyabuddhata. But, as one which carries water, from a river, or lake, or pond, or well, or any water-bearing place in a well-baked jar, a jar such as this, with the water, gets safely and uninjured to the house, simply due to the well-baked condition of this jar.